It will be in the news. Matthias Pilhed, Swedish animator, part-time VTuber, born in the Heisei era, was mauled to death by a moose and a boar. He did it for the content. At the hospital, he said, and I'll get another monkey. Next time I'll get a gorilla. That's a weird reference, if anyone... Does anyone know what I'm referencing? Next time I'll get a gorilla. Something my grandpa did not say, by the way. He did not say that. Okay, that was when my grandpa was bitten by the monkey. And he was quoted by journalists who never interviewed him as having said at the hospital, next time I'll get a gorilla. And you can see it in the newspaper when you... Yeah, the monkey story was real. And, yeah, and he never spoke to single journalists, and yet they all quoted this line. I guess make it seem more scary. Next time I'll get a gorilla. That should be my catchphrase. Maybe that could be my catchphrase. It would be a really good line to end with if you're at a hospital. He was not responsible for Harambe. That one was on me. Top twist. That one was for the content, and it did not go well. Carry on the family tradition. Whatever animal could I get that would be like more, I don't know, titillating. You get a gorilla, your children, or acolytes, or pets, or whatever can get next state in evolution. Why do I have acolytes all of a sudden? This is not a cult. I don't think I did talk about this literally earlier in the stream, that technically I have adopted 2 gorillas. So earlier in the stream I was talking about this, like, the money that I made from the monkey video made me feel really guilty. I died. I tried to avoid it, but I died. The money that I earned, from the monkey video on YouTube made me feel really guilty, because there was, you know, a monkey harmed in the process of that. So I spent the money to adopt 2 gorillas from like a preserve thing. So I sponsored 2 gorillas for a year. So technically I have owned a gorilla or 2. I've adopted them. I've sponsored them. That's kind of a spiritual successor. It's just not very interesting as video content. Representation of them in your house. Like a cardboard cutout. I don't think I want to make a gorilla my mascot. I do like gorillas though. But they seem so, I don't know, intimidating. It's difficult to make like a cute gorilla. It's true. I raised 2 infant gorillas on my own. They sent me little letters in the mail. How are you doing, Papa? And I didn't read a single one because I'm a bad parent, I guess. I didn't want the gorillas to get too attached. Fortifying their mental attitude by not responding. Yeah, I think it makes a gorilla stronger. Actually, that might be a bad idea. Maybe I should have, you know, responded to 1 letter. I feel like you don't want 2 gorillas who are angry at you. It could be the case that these gorillas have not forgotten. And to this day are thinking about the fact that I did not read a single letter or respond to a single one. That would be a good sequel though. That's how we get a sequel to that video. I think answering a letter from one of them would be worse, maybe. A sibling bond will unite them to become the strongest gorillas and come kick your ass. And do I have to be anxious about this now? At any moment? Man, this is actually, I literally made a video about this. 3 monkeys are coming to eat your brains. I didn't think this would turn into a real situation. That was a hypothetical. Now 2 gorillas are coming to beat my ass. I shouldn't have to be afraid of this, I think. I think I should have less fears in my life. I think I should be allowed to not be afraid of gorillas, but yet here I am. I only try to help them out. Fair enough. Maybe I deserve it. I don't know. I'm accepting my fate. I was way too quick to accept my fate. I should at least fight back a little bit. I don't know. Maybe. I'm accepting my fate actually now that I'm thinking about it. I'm not fighting even 1 gorilla. That's too much. I put that down as my graduation plan, actually. I just had a weird flashback to this. When I finished like school, you were supposed to like write down what you plan on doing after school, and I wrote down I plan on fighting as many gorillas as I can. Oh my god, it's all coming back. This was all fate. I set it up from the start. I'm right there from that start, because I was like, no one's ever going to read this. I can just write whatever I feel like. I just wrote down I want to find as many gorillas as possible in the shortest amount of time in the letter that I wrote when I finished school. And I feel like now I regret that, but for the wrong reasons. But you're serious? Yeah, I wrote that down. I was only now reminded of that because I was like, it doesn't, I can just write whatever, it doesn't matter. No one's going to read this. Maybe those gorillas found that letter somehow. They were like trying to like find who I am. They were trying to like find out more about me, so they went through my school archives and found this one letter. And they saw it all come together. This was a setup right from the start. Now we understand. Man, I've made gorillas my enemies. Wasn't supposed to go like this. I need to do something about this. I need to like build an army of monkeys or something in preparation. I saw that film in the cinema, Revenge of the Sith, and I did not like it at the time. I just felt like it was kind of bad acting. And I was there with a friend who, I'd call him a friend. We weren't really friends. He was a really annoying guy from school who wanted to be my friend. It was more like he was friends with me. And I was like, I feel kind of bad for this guy. So I'll hang out with him because he doesn't have any friends. But I was at the cinema with that one quote-unquote friend. And he had already seen the film. So every cool moment in Revenge of the Sith that was, like, enjoyable, he ruined. Because he would say the dialogue before the characters on the screen said it. And it was so annoying. So, like, every badass moment, yeah, it was horrible. I don't know why he did that, but maybe you can understand, like, why people didn't like him. He was a weird guy, and honestly not a good person. I don't know why I did that to myself. I was just trying to be nice, and it backfired. This is bad. Why you started a long lit mission? Maybe. That would be a good plotline twist. You know, I trained these gorillas to come after me, but then at the end, it's revealed there was actually like a secret mission all along. So like, yeah, I trained you to be able to kill me, which is exactly what I wanted. And the gorillas go like, huh? Maybe they don't say it like that because they're gorillas, so they go like, huh? I'm like, this was a test. I was actually trying to make you kill someone more powerful than me. But I had to see if you were ready. And then they go after that one guy who annoyed me at the cinema, and they crush him to death. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that was actually very easy. Anyway, Revenge of the Sith. Gotcha.